Hi. Some who have read recent comments made by myself of late may have noticed that I now refer to the Taiji hunter-killers as slavers, and to anyone who actively engages for profit in the continuation of this enslavement of our cetacean neighbors as slave traders. And I mean that, every word of it. In bygone times, before most of us were even born, uncaring men of both African and non-African origin raided villages in various parts of Africa, capturing, kidnapping men, women, and children of their choosing from those villages. Having seized what they wanted, these slavers then left the remainder alive, traumatized for sure, some injured during the raids, sure of that. But to the best of my knowledge, not slaughtered down to the very last one, as occurs in Taiji, Japan, and certainly not slaughtered by having a steel spike driven into their spinal cords and then left to die slowly, agonizingly, until they had succumbed through internal bleeding or suffocation. But that's precisely what the hunter-killers, slavers of Taiji, Japan, do daily under a cloak of secrecy. A secrecy obtained through color-covered tarpaulins, because they don't want you to see this killing. They don't want their own people to see this killing. And they're assisted by the governments of both the village of Taiji and the government of Japan in their murdering and kidnapping. Therefore, I feel perfectly justified in calling the governments in Japan slave traders. Some may say that they think the term can only be true where the captured, kidnapped victim or victims are human. To that I say, okay, let's look up the word slave in our dictionaries. Slave, defined as one bound in servitude as the property of a person, a group of persons. Servitude, defined, a state of subjection to an owner or master, a lack of personal freedom to act or do as one chooses. Each of those terms use the word one. One defined. Used to refer to a single person or thing. Now I'm sure that some, many even perhaps, will try to argue that this is intended to refer only to the human species. Why? Why do you feel justified in limiting this definition to the human animal? Oh, of course. You offer, why? Because we're special. We have superior intellect. We have culture. We have language. We have an awareness of self. We transfer our individual knowledge to others of our species. We can learn new things, develop new ways to do things. And some will try and add that we walk on or stand upright and walk on our hind legs, as if that is important. If it were, it'd preclude all those thalidomide victims who were born without limbs. Have I missed any qualities that we have that in your mind defines us as being the only ones for whom the word slave is intended? If I have, please enlighten me. Otherwise, please take note. You have just heard listed the very qualities which can be proven to exist in our cetacean neighbors, other than walking upright on our hind legs. Oh, and perhaps you'd wish to argue superior intelligence. To which I say, by whose measure and of what human or humans is the measure taken whereby you arrive at that conclusion? No. Our cetaceans, as well as some others in the animal kingdom, should be given the recognition for being what they truly are in captivity, slaves. So those of you who enable dolphinariums to exist by buying tickets to their dolphin shows are supporting a slave trade. And with respect, I say that those who give governmental permission for new ones to open are supporting a slave trade. A slave trade even more cruel than that one which was abolished, thankfully, so many years ago. Now I know that in our ignorance we have allowed many animal prisons to exist, and no reasonable person expects their government to close those places. They will have to close themselves, either through the discovery within themselves a spark of human decency, or through attrition due to a lack of attendance at their shows. But we do not have to allow the opening of a new one. And by the way, just in, I'm being told that the Phuket Dolphinarium is attempting to bring in a total of 8 dolphins, 5 of whom are confirmed as having been sourced from the slavers in Taiji, Japan, plus 2 South American fur seals. 8 dolphins, 2 fur seals, all in a pool that isn't even suitable for 1 dolphin. Say no to Taiji, Japan. Please say no to the Phuket Dolphinarium. Make Thailand a household word for the protection and the prevention of cruelty to our animals, as India has made themselves a household name by designating the cetacean as a non-human person. Don't make Thailand the country that continues to support the dolphin slave trade.